Hey, what's going on, scholars? It's your professor here, the Enlightened Enlisted, and we got some big news from Darkflow today. Finally, planes are being addressed. Now, if you've been living under a rock or just not playing the Normandy campaign, you know planes have been a huge issue for a lot of the player base, as the infantry just gets shredded by these 250 kilogram bombs on just impunitive bombing runs, and there was no real way for the infantrymen to be able to counter this. So it looks like bombs are going to get a more realistic model, and what I mean by that is when you drop a bomb, it is actually going to hit the ground, bury itself a little bit into the ground, you know, with little fins sticking up, and then it's going to explode. That damage model is actually going to go into a cone shape upwards. So what that means is if you actually go prone near this, you might be able to survive this. Now there is also a blast radius, and that is going to be depended by what kind of bomb it is. It says right in here that the 50 kilogram bomb is going to have a 4.5 meter radius on that, whereas the 500 kilogram bomb is going to end up having a 15 meter radius. So that shockwave radius is also going to be able to give damage. It might be able to down you, but you're going to have to be very close to where that bomb drops. But now you're going to be able to go prone and try to survive that. Another way that we can try to survive is actually with the walls, engineering sandbags, and other temporary objects that used to just be destroyed immediately by a bombing run. They actually lost all their cover function for the shelter when you were bombed next to them. So now they actually are going to retain their cover function until they are completely destroyed. So what that basically means is if a bomb lands near you and you are behind the sandbags, those sandbags are going to protect you from the blast radius and that shrapnel until all those sandbags are destroyed. So that would have to be another bombing run. What I do find interesting is they actually included this realistic shell radius and damage model for not only the bombs from aviation, they actually did it for the mortar and the artillery fire from the radio operator. So I think that artillery and bombing is going to be less of a problem now for us as infantrymen. What I did find interesting and omitted from this is there are no mentions about rockets in here. So maybe we're going to see people shifting back over to the BF-110s and doing rocket strikes instead of bombing strikes. I'm not 100% sure if that applies to it. I will test this out once this goes live. Last but certainly not least is the personal orders. Now what that means is you're going to be able to give individual orders to your AI squad mates, and that is going to be huge because you're going to lose all your squad members as you move across, say, a road or towards an objective. You're going to be able to give them individual specific locations within a radius of you and the rest of the squad, and that is going to make this game so much more tactical, giving the player more control over their squad members instead of just having them as bullet sponges. And then at the very bottom it says, hint, by marking an enemy, you not only help other players in battle but also AI soldiers in your squad. They will turn and look closely in the direction of the mark set on the enemy location where the enemy can appear. Now that's really big. I don't know exactly how well that's going to work, however, because I'm not sure if my buddy, pings an area, is my squad going to be looking in that direction as well? And if it does, I see a problem with the AI getting too many pings from too many players that it's not going to be able to be effective. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit a like and subscribe. It really helps this channel out. Until next time, scholars, hit those books and hit those bottles. Cheers.